Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I will be talking about the top 10 things, in my opinion, that you should know before you decide to get a kitten. To use cat toys and not your body. I know a lot of people, when they have a kitten, and almost like a puppy, when you're playing with your kitten, when they're playing with their teeth and with their hands, you don't think nothing of it because it doesn't hurt, so you let them continue doing it, and sometimes you kind of mimic the play, and you're basically encouraging this behavior, which is something that you probably don't want, because you gotta remember your kitten's gonna get older at some point, which means their nails are gonna get longer and sharper, and so will their teeth. So you really want to make sure that as young of an age as you can, so from the moment that you get them, really want to reinforce the don't play with your body, play with your toys. If your kitten is trying to play with you and you notice that they're coming at your feet or your hands or just any part of your body, grab a toy, try to play with them, and teach them to interact with the cat toy, not with your body. You can also try to reinforce the word no. They actually understand that word. So with Ash, I think I said it maybe like 3 times. Like, I would move him and say no, and after like the 3rd, 4th time, he actually understood it. Now if he actually listens, it's different. Sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't. It's just hit or miss. I mean, he's stubborn, but he actually understands it, because if you say no, he will look at you, stop what he's doing, and then you could tell he's like debating on if he wants to continue doing it. But that is the first tip I would recommend. So get as many cat toys as you can, different kinds. Some cats like toys that make noise, some cats don't. It's really just kind of a trial and error. Try to handle and desensitize your kitten or cat as early as you can, especially if you have a kitten. This is probably very, very important. So you want to try to pick them up sometimes, pet them, just touch them in spots, even in spots that cats don't like to be touched in. Like, sometimes I'll rub Ash's belly for like a quick second. I'll like quickly touch it just so that he can get used to it, because you never know if something in the future might happen where that part actually might need to be touched. So I'm trying to make sure he's okay with it a little bit and he's used to the feeling of it. I'm also getting him used to car rides, so he's in the car sometimes and he's completely fine with it now. He already was, but I wanted to make sure and keep doing it just to make sure he really was okay with it. So now he'll I usually like to try to play with him and make sure he eats and uses the bathroom before he goes in the car. That way by the time he gets in the car, he's resting and it's a lot more relaxing for him at the same time. So sometimes we'll have him, like, even if it's not quiet, I sometimes will have him exposed to like sometimes louder sounds. So like if an 18-wheeler is driving by, I want him to hear it. I want him to get used to some of the loud sounds that might happen, because it's the world, you can't control the external factors, so it's not always going to be completely quiet. Obviously, in the room and in the house, I try to keep the area that he's in as quiet as possible and just more normal voicing. I am currently getting him used to using the vacuum, so I sometimes will like turn it on, turn it off, give him like a little treat or anything that he might like, just so he can get used to hearing the sound, because I want him when he gets older to be used to water, loud sounds, being in car rides, and like uncomfortable touchings, just so that it's better. It's like a lot smarter for the future. So do desensitize your kitten or your cat, and also be sure to handle them a lot. That way also when they get older, they're okay with it. Handling is really important for your cat's growth, and it helps them bond a lot better with you as well as other animals and children. So do be sure to handle your pet as well. Is to limit their space. I know usually when you bring a pet home, you kind of open up your whole house to them. Maybe you obviously like keep like a room closed that they might not be able to go in, but you're usually opening up your whole house. I would not recommend that for a kitten, just because one, it can be like a little bit too much unless your cat is just really outgoing. But if you also have a kitten, they might not know exactly where their litter box is. So keeping them in the smaller area, especially in the same room where the litter box will be, or as well as in the same room where they'll be sleeping in, is like the best thing to help them quickly get comfortable and used to their surroundings. And it also helps them use the litter box, because if you open up the whole house at once, they're not going to know where it is, so you're opening up the chances of having more accidents. Utilize a schedule. Cats are really like specific on when they want things done, and they are very schedule oriented. So do get into a routine of when you're feeding your did I say rabbit earlier? I don't know. Get into the routine of feeding your kitten early, around the same time, having to play at the same time. If you do treats like every day, try to do that around the same time. Just try to, and that way their nap is also on schedule, just so that they're used to what their day is going to be like, and they know what to expect. And they also makes it easier for you, because they won't throw off their eating schedule at the same time, because obviously you want to keep your kitten on the eating schedule. Ash is eating right now about 3 times a day, sometimes 4, but for the majority of the part, I'm usually feeding him about 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and then at night right before I leave to go to work. And then also I do try to play with him around the same time. So after he eats, I play with him, and then by the time I do that, he's ready to use the bathroom and lay down and go to sleep like he is right now. And I just basically repeat this cycle. To provide plenty of toys. I touched on this in my first point, which is using cat toys, not your body, on how to have plenty of toys. Giving plenty of toys not only keep them busy and happy and from being bored, it also provides a outlet for them and keeps them from being overstimulated, because obviously with the cat they can get overstimulated. So having plenty of toys for them to be able to play with, because sometimes they might not want to play with a specific toy during that time. So having so many toys for them to choose from will keep them busy, happy, from being bored, and obviously keeping their energy low, because kids have a ton of energy. So it's almost, I'm not gonna say it's impossible to completely drain out their energy on your own by playing with them, like one-on-one, but it is really hard, because some kids have a ton of energy. Like Ash, he has a lot. I can play with him for like 30 minutes straight sometimes, and he'll still be just zooming around and just playing and everything. So it definitely doesn't hurt to have plenty of toys for them to play with, especially toys that they can play with on their own. That way, if you're gone, your cat is still entertained the whole time. Kitty proof your area. I know I mentioned about keeping your kitten in one room when you first bring them home, just so that they get used to everything. When you bring them in that area, also make sure this area is kitten proof, just like how you baby proof a home or puppy proof a home. Make sure this area is kitten proof, because those wires, they're gonna eat them, they're gonna chew on them, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that, because that would just rack up your vet bill, and also you're now out whoever cord that you're using. So definitely do put some cord protectors on those wires, or make them in hard to reach areas. If you are worried about them going underneath your bed, like if your bed is high and you're worried about them going underneath your bed, you can buy the underbed stoppers or whatever it's called, to put underneath your bed, or just any other area that you would like blocked off. If you would like to block off your room even more, you can do, like, in case you don't have everything yet, you can also get Playpen which I also highly kind of recommend. I keep Ashton the pen if I'm gone, or if he's taking a nap, I like to put him inside the pen, that way he get used to it. But you can get a pet pen with a lid on it. I would highly recommend getting one that closes at the top or has a door. That way you don't have to worry about them jumping out, because I had the regular playpen and Ash would jump out. After like the second day, he learned all he had to do was climb up. I touched on this earlier as well, is to provide plenty of playtime. Like I mentioned earlier, kittens just have a lot of energy in them. Some adult cats do as well, but kittens have a ton of energy that they need to let out. You don't want this energy to come out in a negative way, so you want to positively help them burn this out by playing with them with their toys. That way they're not being destructive with your things. I also did mention earlier, definitely get a cat scratcher. Put catnip if you need to. Maybe get a cat tree as well. Well, not maybe. Actually, get a cat tree as well. Maybe sit it by the window. That way they can climb up there and look out. Cats actually really like that. Usually, playing with them for like an hour, but like breaking it up throughout the day, it usually seems to keep them tired for a majority of the day. So, which is obviously perfect. And then he also is quiet throughout the whole night. Is to have a vet. You never know what could happen. You never know who you get your kitty from or your cat, and they could have any type of problems wrong. So I highly recommend getting a vet and getting them looked at, especially if you get a kitten and it's like within that first week. Take them to the vet. You never know what they might have or what could be going wrong. Cats are really well at hiding like their illnesses, so do get them looked at. You can do your own research, of course, to find like a vet that you trust, or if you already have one that you know of, obviously you can go with them. But do get a vet. Maybe start up a vet savings jar, and like every so now and then you put more money into it, or also look into getting pet insurance for your kitten. Not give your cat milk. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know where this came from, but of cats liking milk, how you can feed your cat, how your cat can drink milk. Do not give your cat milk. They actually can't really process it, and it will give them upset stomach, which will lead to diarrhea. You don't want your cat to have diarrhea, especially not for too long, because then you'll need to take them to the vet more than likely. But do not give them any dairy milk. Kittens can have cat milk, but make sure it's the specific kitten formula and that you prepare it the correct way and follow the instructions first. Which is the litter box and training. Give your kitten a litter box. Well, your kitten, give them a litter box. They must have a litter box. How you set it up is completely up to you. I don't use the closed litter box. I actually find that in my opinion, I believe that cats like it more when it's open. I know we like the closed ones, or like the ones that look like really cute and like furniture, just because it keeps your place looking nice or whatever. But in my opinion, I believe that cats like the open litter box a lot more. Make sure that's large enough for them to do like a full circle around. When you're bringing your new kitten home, or if you do move the box, or you move to like a new place, show them, like just take them and put them inside the litter box and let them come out in the litter box on their own. That way they can memorize exactly where it was and they know exactly what that's there for. Like I mentioned earlier, is training. You start from a young age, as young as you can, from the moment you get them, and teach them their names, teach them like things that they should and should not know in your mind that you want them to know. If you don't want them hopping on your kitchen counters, teach them that you don't want them hopping on your kitchen counters. They are super smart animals. They will definitely understand what you're telling them. Some cats are more stubborn, so they might not listen to you, but trust me, they actually understand. You just got to keep reinforcing it, and eventually they will catch on. Some cats will catch on a lot quicker than others, but some you gotta have a lot of patience. And I still like that because Ash is one of those where I'm noticing I need a lot of patience, which I do have. He's just very stubborn and he knows what he's doing because he looks at me each time right before he does it. So he knows. Use positive training. You can use your cat's favorite treats. So once you see that they do something that you like or they listen, give them a treat, reward them, say thank you, lol. Say, just give them some positive reinforcement, whether it be verbal, physical, or treats, or you can do like a combination of some. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've been talking for so long, but I am done. Those are my top 10 things to know before you get a cat. I hope this video was helpful for at least one person. Even if it was just one tip that you could take away from this, I really do appreciate it. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also let me know down in the comment section below if you have any more tips or what your favorite tip is, or do you have any like tricks for your kittens that you think other people might want to know. Especially me, I am very open to hearing like new tips and tricks. But be sure to also subscribe and also ring that bell to be notified of every upload, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.